Hello, so today I'm going to build a GUI interface, which is like a Windows program using the Ruby programming language. Up until recently, it's been difficult to program any Windows type program in Ruby, but since the advent of Visual Ruby, it's become very easy. And I'm going to use Visual Ruby to create a Windows program in 10 minutes. I've already installed that program on this computer, but for you to get it, you should go to visualruby.net, and that's where you can learn about it, download it, install it, and once you get it installed, you'll be able to make programs the same way I'm going to do in this demonstration. So to get started, Visual Ruby's already installed, so all I have to do is type VR and enter to start Visual Ruby, and that brings up the Visual Ruby program. Okay. Now, I'm going to be making a program that simply flips a coin. So it's going to have a button where you click the button and it's going to select a random number between 0 and 1. And if it's 0, it'll show heads. If it's 1, it'll show tails. So it's just going to be a button and an image. So you press the button and you get to see a heads or a tails. And I'm going to build that from scratch. So I'm going to go to File, New Project, and create a file called CoinFlip. Okay, this will create a project off my Visual Ruby projects folder called CoinFlip, and it'll start with just a skeleton program that's got a couple of files in it. And this is just a hello world program that you can then alter to suit your needs. So this is, I'm going to click the run button here just to run. This is just the basic skeleton program that you get to start a new project. And it's just a hello world program where the values are changed. And the first thing I'd like to do actually is rename this to be called CoinFlip. So I'm going to do that just doing a save as. I'm just going to save this file as CoinFlip so it has the proper name. And then we don't need main anymore. Okay, then I have to change a setting to project settings and change this from, instead of running main, we're now going to run CoinFlip. So those changes just change the name of the program so that when you click the run button, this CoinFlip program is run instead of main RB. Otherwise, all your programs would be named main and you wouldn't be able to distinguish them. So usually you give it a program name like CoinFlip. Okay, so now it's called CoinFlip. Now we just have to get it to do what we want it to do. And the first thing we'll need to do is, well, first of all, to understand what's going on here, my class RB is loaded. We make a new instance of this class, and then we run the show method on it, which shows it on the screen. When it shows it on the screen, it uses this Glade form, which this shows you. This is the program you use, Glade, to edit your forms and make them look like what they're supposed to look like. So here we have that form that was the Hello World form, which is just basically a form with a button on it. So for this program, we need a button and an image. So I'm going to add to this program first by adding another cell to this box, and then I'm going to cut and paste the existing button down there just for looks, and I'm going to add an image. And I add an image with the Glade tool by clicking on the image and then plopping an image there. So now we have a button on this form called button 1, and we have an image on this form, and its name is image 1. Now we're going to use those names, button 1 and image 1, to refer to these objects in our code. So now this form is done, but just remember these are the names, image 1 and button 1. Those are the names of what we're going to be referring to. We're going to change the values of those items on the form. Okay, so let me close that out. Now, so the first thing we need to do is make the program, when you click the button, you want to flip a coin. So if you use a function called random, it's actually called rand, and you give it 2, it's going to pick one of two values. So let's say if rand equals 1, then that'll be heads, and else that'll be tails. Okay, so if rand 2 equals equals 1, then that's going to be heads. So we'll say at okay, so what this statement is doing is saying if the random number is 1, then this is how you refer to that. This is how you refer to the button object. Is there's a instance variable builder, and button1, you pass it the name, like I was saying before, the name of the component, which is button1, and then we're changing the label property, which is what shows on the screen, the letters, to heads. Likewise, we'll do it with tails. And I have to go fast. Let's delete this out. So now the program should, okay, I must have missed something here. Button 1 clicked. Oh, okay. This has to be equals like that. Equals 1. Okay. So now you see the hello, it starts with hello world, and when you click it, it always says heads. That shouldn't be right. Maybe it was just heads every time. No, it always says heads. Oh no, okay, because we haven't changed this to tails. Okay, now it should say heads or tails, which it does, it changes. Okay, so when it starts out, it says hello world, when really what we want it to start out saying is flip coin. So let's change that. All right. Now when we run it, it starts out by saying flip coin. Then when we hit the button, it changes, because when you click the button, it will call this method button clicked, and it will fill in a value. Now this before show method is simply a method that initializes, you can use to initialize your components. It's called before the window is shown. So let's add another feature here, which is I have some images for this in my home directory, and I'm going to cut and paste them into my coin flip directory. So I'm just going to copy them. Here's coin flip. I'm going to put them in the bin directory. So I just pasted those images into the bin directory. Now if I do a refresh here on you can see that they appear here. So let's use those files, and we have to make a path to those files. This is just the path. I don't want to go into too much talk about the path. You can work that out. So now let's have this change that image to be something. So we'll say it's not, now we're referring not to button 1, but image 1. And it's not the label property, it's the file property. And file equals, so we'll say at path plus heads.jpg. Okay, so that'll be a reference to, it'll fill in the image. It'll fill either heads JPG or tails JPG into the image. So now, see, now it doesn't look right because the image is still not filled in, but when you click the button, it does fill in. So you can see it's functioning. The only problem is it needs an initial value. So let's do this. Let's fill in the initial value up here in before show. We have to do it after the path. Okay, so now it should fill in an initial value, which it does. So it looks like it's completely functional now. Okay, so it does function. Now let's quickly make it into a complete command line program, and we can do that by going to Tools, Create GemSpec File, and this creates a. Let me make it version 9. There's one change we have to make is we have JPEG files in there, so we're going to add JPEG to our gem. I'm not going to go into this much either, but essentially when you create this, you'll create a gem spec, and then to make it into a full gem, you just right click on the gem spec file and click build gem. That builds this. It says successfully built Ruby gem coin flip, and now we have a gem, and this can be uploaded to rubygems.org and shared with the world, or you can install it on your computer. Now the way to install it easily in Visual Ruby is you right click on the gem and you say install gem. See, now it says install gem coin flip, and now you'll see if we go to a command line, we can type in coin flip, and voila, it runs. Okay, so this gem has been installed on our computer. Now that's fully functional gem, and we can also, now that we know that this gem is working, it's because it's installed on our computer, we can push the gem to rubygems.org. Okay, so I do a right click on there and I selected push to rubygems.org, and now it says OK. So now this gem has been published to rubygems.org, and so it's available to the whole world. Now let me show you I'll show you a download of that. What I'm going to do here is go to local gems, and I'm going to delete CoinFlip off of my computer. Uninstall, uninstall. And now I'm going to pretend like we're on a different computer somewhere halfway across the world. So if we type in CoinFlip, it doesn't come up with anything, no file or directory. So we're going to go gem install CoinFlip, and it should install the program, and it should work. Here we go. Okay, so it's fetching one gem installed, and now we have CoinFlip installed, and it comes up and it works. So that's how you can make a completely functional GUI in 10 minutes with this program, and publish it and install it on your computer and have it available for the world. All right, good luck with all of it, and best wishes.